Building a system which is intended to be used by government customers is really different than doing it for a commercial user. Commercial users often know where they're going to be and how they're going to operate long in advance of the demand. In the case of government, it has to truly be global because governments really don't know where the demand is going to arise 6 months, even a week from now. And so for them, having a system which is truly global and can be accessed at a moment's notice is the first priority. The second thing is to make sure that the equipment is easy to use, because governments have a need to put this in the hands of small units and teams where the primary focus is not on communication, but on actually achieving the mission. Certainly at the root of all this is having a system which is trusted. And so it's important for commercial systems to ensure that they meet the highest levels of trust that the government has. Last but not least, to the degree it's possible, having a system that interfaces directly with existing government equipment provides the necessary ability to operate immediately, interoperate with government systems, but to do so in a way that's tremendously cost effective. And that, of course, is terribly important these days. Back in the time of the conflicts in the Middle East, what commercials suddenly found was that it was an essential part of government operations, and it's continued to be so ever since. What we're seeing now, though, is that the short-term nature of government needs is becoming more compelling. We have operations such as what's happened in Mali, which seem to come up out of the blue, where there's no advance notice, and in fact, it's imperative on governments to respond almost instantaneously. What that means is it's essential to have pre-positioned capacity in order to ensure that you can meet these demands on a short fuse basis. It's really important when working with a government that you remember that what they are buying is not simply space segment capacity. What they are buying is a communications resource that takes them from end to end. And that end-to-end includes a lot of things. It includes the terminals, but of course it also includes the gateway infrastructure that's being provided, as well as the global ground network that connects it all back to the places that they need to connect to. Each of those has to be done with an eye toward availability so that the system is highly robust against failure, as well as an eye toward security so that all the threats, both physical and cyber, are included in that. Satellite 2013 has been a great show, and one of the things that really excites me is that we're beginning to hear back now from our partners and from our vendors, others, the same kinds of things we've been talking about directly with our government customers for the last year. And that's the fact that the global reach and bandwidth and trust that are incorporated into Global Express are things that they really need. And we're finding that our vendors are now hearing that from the customers as well. We're having a tremendous number of them coming and being part of our team, and we're now exhibiting at the show a number of their products, and a number of our partners are including Global Express in their messaging. This is all very much driven directly by the strong customer interest we've seen in the United States as well as around the world in governments that we're working with.